All right, so you want to talk about a match with some serious heat? We'll get this. We're diving into match 11 of the Women's T20 World Cup, South Africa versus Scotland. And let me tell you, this one's got layers.
Yeah, layers is a good way to put it.
We're talking Dubai.
Sun absolutely blazing 37 degrees Celsius.
Brutal conditions to play any sport, let alone.
Absolutely. And the stakes were already high even before you factor in the weather.
Right. I mean, Scotland, they were really up against it, weren't they?
Yeah, 2 losses down. At that point, they needed a win here to have any shot at the semifinals.
Desperate times.
Desperate measures needed, for sure.
And for South Africa, it wasn't exactly a walk in the park either.
No, they had just come off that loss against England.
Which, by the way, if you haven't already gone back and listened to that deep dive.
Absolute wild finish.
But anyway, back to South Africa. So they're not just playing for a win here. They need to make a statement.
Exactly. They had to boost that net run rate, the NRR. It's like, in football, how goal difference can decide things if teams are tied on points.
Right.
It's the same idea. A big win here for South Africa could really put them in the driver's seat.
Okay, so we've got these two teams both with a lot on the line, but then you factor in the Dubai pitch. It's notorious, right?
Oh, it's a batter's dream. Come on, high scores, boundaries galore, and you could just tell everyone was expecting fireworks.
Even in the pre-match interviews, both captains were sort of tipping their hand a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, Laura Wolvaart, South Africa's captain, she basically said, look, we want to make the most of these batting conditions. And then on the other side, you've got Catherine Bryce, as Scotland's captain, saying, yeah, we know we need to bowl really well to keep their run rate in check.
Talk about a clash of styles. So the toss happens, South Africa wins, and they choose to bat first. Did that surprise you at all?
I mean, it's a bold move, right? You're putting a big score on the board early, putting the pressure on the chasing team. But it also means your batters are the ones out there in that heat facing the music first.
And face the music they did.
Yeah.
So you look at the scorecard and you might think, no big centuries, no one player really stole the show.
Right, and that's what makes this inning so interesting.
Yeah, it's like they were all clicking, weren't they?
Absolutely. It was a real team effort, which is often what you need in these high-pressure situations.
Yeah.
No reliance on one star player. It was everybody contributing.
Brits, Wolvaart, Cap, all putting up those crucial runs.
And speaking of Wolvaart, did you catch that stat about her? I mean, I was looking it up while the match was going on.
Was it the all-time leading run scorer thing? Because I was going to mention that.
Yeah, during that innings, she became South Africa's all-time leading run scorer in T20 internationals.
Talk about a leader by example. I mean, that's just incredible consistency, right?
And you could see what it meant to her, too.
Yeah.
There was that moment early on she got dropped.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. A catch that probably should have been taken.
And she was barely even off the mark at that point. I think it was like her second or third ball.
Right. And you could just tell that those little moments, those turning points, they can make all the difference.
Oh, absolutely. Momentum is huge in cricket.
Yeah.
And after that dropped catch, you could just feel it shifting South Africa's way.
But it wasn't just about capitalizing on mistakes. Marizanne Cap, her innings was something else, wasn't it?
Oh, Cap, she was on fire. 43 runs off 24 balls. That's some smart batting right there.
Every time Scotland thought they were starting to get a grip on things, Cap would come in and just dismantle their bowling.
And it's not just about power either. She was so smart about picking her moments, choosing those loose deliveries, turning them into boundaries.
And speaking of power, I have to ask, did you see that six from Tasman Brits?
The one over long on?
Yeah, off that full toss. It was massive.
You could practically hear the wind whistling as it went sailing over the boundary.
I mean, that must be so deflating as a bowler.
Oh, 100%, especially when you're already under pressure like Scotland were.
And it all added up because they ended up setting the highest power play score of the whole tournament at that point.
Yeah, and just to clarify for anyone who might not be as familiar with the rules of cricket, the power play is the first 6 overs of the innings.
Where you have those fielding restrictions, right?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's a prime opportunity to really rack up the runs. And South Africa, yeah, they certainly did that.
By the end of their innings, they had posted a massive total, a target of 167, which, by the way, was the highest score of the entire tournament.
Talk about a tough act to follow. Scott Liverty into something special to chase that down.
So picture this, 167 runs on the board. The pressure is on. I mean, if you're Scotland, what's the game plan at that point?
Oh, you've got to come out swinging, right? Take some risks. Try to rattle those South African bowlers early.
Because otherwise, it's just going to feel like an impossible mountain to climb.
Exactly. And we've seen teams do it before in T20 cricket, pull off those incredible chases.
Right.
But it takes something special, and unfortunately for Scotland, it just wasn't their day.
No, it really wasn't. Every time it looked like they might be building a bit of momentum, South Africa would just shut it down.
Yeah, their bowlers were so disciplined,
Yeah.
so accurate with their lines and lengths.
And Chloe Tryon, I mean, talk about a game changer.
Oh, she was phenomenal. 2 wickets for just 22 runs.
Yeah.
That's the kind of performance that wins you matches.
That caught and bowled to get rid of Catherine Bryce.
Oh, that was huge. I mean, dismissing the opposing captain always gives you a lift, but to do it with a catch like that,
Just instinct, pure and simple.
and then you had that wicket from Nankalule Kumlaw.
Okay, stop. You're going to make me rewatch it again because I swear I've seen that delivery like 5 times already.
It's one of those you just have to see to believe it.
The way it just gripped and turned after pitching just completely bamboozled the batter.
Even Malaba herself looks stunned.
Right, like even she knew that something special.
And that's what I love about cricket. Those moments of magic, you just can't script them.
Absolutely. But to Scotland's credit, they didn't just roll over even with that massive target staring them in the face.
No, they showed some real fight, especially in those last few overs.
Oh, yeah. They only gave away 14 runs in the last 2, which against a team like South Africa, that's saying something.
Absolutely. It's a testament to their character. They could have easily just crumbled under the pressure, but they kept fighting until the very end.
Unfortunately, though, it wasn't enough to change the outcome.
No. South Africa were just too strong. On the day, a convincing win by 80 runs. And you have to say, Marizanne Kapp, well-deserved player of the match.
She really did it all, didn't she? Both with the bat and the ball, a true all-rounder.
And that's what makes her so valuable to this South African team. She can turn a match on its head with both bat and ball.
So a dominant performance from South Africa. They go top of Group B. And for Scotland, sadly, it's the end of the road.
Yeah, a tough way to bow out, but they can hold their heads high. They gave it their all.
And for cricket fans, this match was a treat. I mean, we saw some incredible batting, a masterclass in how to build an innings, and then some truly inspired bowling.
And let's not forget those moments of brilliance that left us all speechless.
Yes, exactly. So much to unpack and analyze. But that's why we love this game, right? It's full of surprises, full of those moments that keep you on the edge of your seat.
And with the tournament still wide open, who knows what drama awaits us? Just goes to show every single run, every wicket, every catch, it all matters.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, that's it for this deep dive, folks. But stay tuned because we've got plenty more cricket analysis coming your way.
Oh, there's so much more to come, and, we'll be breaking it all down for you right here.
Until then, keep those stumps polished, and we'll catch you next time.